talk about mom freaking life. Let's talk about mom life and how we're surviving. How are you guys surviving? How are you surviving? What are you
Hmm.
up to? How's mom life for you?
Like mom life as an entrepreneur is wild. Let me just say that. It is wild because I feel like, especially me, I'm very type B when it comes to like schedule. Like there's certain things, like if I need to be prepared for something, I want to be prepared for it, right? But most
Yeah,
of the time I live by the seat of my pants and I'm a very type B person. And I
same.
feel like when you don't have, like you're not scheduled, like I'm not like every night my kids are going to be like eat dinner at this time, be bathed by this time, be put in bed by this time. Like I'm just not that mom. And so
No.
anyways, we like me and Maya were just talking and it's like, we feel like every day we're just like, okay, I'm going to like take the world on. I got all this time. And then the next thing you know, it's like you wake up and then like it's just a shit show every single day. It's like, what is
Every
happening?
day. Every dang day, man. Why? I swear, this whole past week, that's been my life. Like, I've been waking up, like, I'm gonna get this project done. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have so much time to, like, work on this and record this content. And
Hmm.
then I have to get this back to my assistant. And I'm like, I haven't done any of it. Because every day, it's like, it happens. And you just kind of, at least for me, like, my little guy is still a toddler. So he is, like, all consuming. Like, he plays independently a little bit, but he really, like, if mama's there, like, he wants mama. Like, it's just, this is the season of life. But, whew, sometimes you think you're just gonna have so much time and you just don't.
I know, I know. It's like by the time I like wake up, and I'm not gonna lie, like I am somebody that likes to sleep to the last minute, but I always am like I always stay up late because that's when I can get a lot of shit done. Because the kids are sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
Cody's sleeping, and I can like really just be in my zone and like get stuff done. So then I'm like, pushing it to like 7:30 before I get up. And then it's like, okay, now I gotta get up, make sure like the kids are like done and off to school, and then like I want to do my workout, and then I'm like I've got like a full inbox of messages to like get back to you, and and then it's like, and I got calls, and then I got, I want to go live, and then I want to do this and I want to do that, and I have a meeting to get to, and I have this, and then it's like now the kids have to, then it's like now the kids got to go to sports, or they got to do this, or I got to do homework, or or whatever. It's just like every single day I'm just like
I
running
know.
the
I
race. I'm like, we
know.
got this. But how amazing is it that, yes, we live a very crazy life, but it's on our terms. And, this week I was,
100%.
yes. And like this week, I was like down and out. And just knowing that, like, I don't have to worry about a job, that job's going to fire me, or I'm running out of PTO time, or I'm running out of sick time. Like, I don't have to worry about any of that. And it really is such a relief. I mean, I feel like, yes, like today, like, cause normally like on Fridays we don't record, and like we are because, we got to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like the beauty of like the flexibility of like running your own schedule. But it's wild.
Yes. Having they call it like time freedom, but like, even though like, we're on here saying like our days go, the time just goes away on us, but it still is that freedom of time. Where like we
Hmm.
get to choose if we want to be able to sleep in. We get to choose if we want to sit with our kids and like have breakfast and like help them get ready. Whereas I know there's other moms who have to rush and they don't get that choice. They don't get the choice of having a relaxing breakfast or being able to sit down and watch cartoons or, just hang out for an extra 30 minutes if we need to. Right. And it's sad, but also at the same time, like if you don't want to live that type of life, you are in control to change it. You are. And you and I, Leanne, both, and a lot of the other, women entrepreneurs that we work with, like the reason why we have this time freedom is because we absolutely refuse to not. Like when
Hmm.
you are so convicted about the life that you want to live, you will do anything to make it happen. And that
Absolutely.
is something that has been ingrained within us. This is something that I will never give up. Like you will never catch me checking into a 9 to 5, reporting to a boss, asking for vacation time, calling and saying, I'm sorry, I'm running late because I have to bring my son to the doctor, or like traffic is bad. Like, fuck that. Absolutely not. Like I will always find a way to make money on my terms. And it is what it
Hell yeah.
is. And that is who I am. And that's like, some people don't understand that, but like there is no
Hmm.
other way. In my mind, there is no other way. And unless I choose and I want to do like a 9 to 5 because it's like I'm passionate about something, or it's like maybe I just want the interaction because staying home, you're isolated sometimes. But
Yeah.
like otherwise, like even if I was like down to zero, I had $0 in my bank account and like I was at rock bottom and I was like, God forbid, had to figure my life out again, it ain't gonna be at a 9 to 5. I can fucking tell you that. I will DoorDash. I will, do something online. There's a million and one ways to make money from your phone. And like people, I personally don't understand why more people don't do it. Like, yes,
I
there's
don't
the
either.
being scared behind it and the fear, but like literally, what is worse? Being like handcuffed and tied to a job and time that like you can't even
Mhm.
take the day off if your kid is sick because you're going to get fired if you don't go into work. Like that's literally a situation that I ran into yesterday. I was dropping my son off at daycare, and I always stay in the room with him for a little bit. One, because he doesn't like me to leave, and I like to like make sure he has an easy time when I drop him off, and two, I like being around the other kids and saying hi and like chatting with the teachers a little bit. So when I was in there, one of the teachers who I've gotten to know brings her daughter with her to daycare, and her little girl is about the same age as my son Colby, and they were like 1.5 ish, and she was laying on the ground, and she was sick, and she was like lethargic, she was like her eyes were closed, and she was just like laying there like wrapped in a blanket, and I was like, is she okay? And the teacher was like, no, like she doesn't feel good, she's sick, but like I'm trying to figure out how I can take her into the doctor. Like I don't have a car I can bring her with because I carpooled, and I can't leave because if I leave, I'm going to get a point taken away because of the way that they work, and like I don't want to lose my job. And I literally was like, I'm not leaving this facility until we figure out how we can get your daughter to the doctor to get some help, because
Yeah,
that is not okay in my mind. Like,
I know.
and it was one of those things where like I was put in that position to help her that day, and like it was honestly like a God thing. And truthfully, like
Mhm.
Leanne and I were messaging about this because her and I rescheduled recording today. We were supposed to record yesterday, and it got moved to today, and this happened yesterday, and if we would have had this recording today, I wouldn't have been able to be there to help her. So like it all
Yeah.
works out for a reason, but like I could literally never imagine being a mom and having to look at my son, and he is like so sick, so sick, and for me to be like, I'm sorry, but like I can't give you the best care right now. I have to literally bring you into work with me, put you in a place where like I can't give you the care, I can't even bring you to the doctor because I need to go into work because I don't want to lose my job to get paid what, 13-14 bucks an hour. I honestly don't know what they get paid, but maybe 15, 16, whatever. Like that is literally a travesty in my mind. Like that is
Mhm.
absolutely terrible. So it's one of those things where I will never allow myself to be in that situation, and I will always choose to take a risk on myself and invest in myself and do a business like online versus having to be stuck in that position, because that to me is way scarier.
Way scarier. And like you were saying, because I was gonna say that too, and like you literally get paid shit. Like unless you
Yeah.
have the skill set and like the years of the experience, or you have some fancy college degree or whatever, like that is really the only way you're making money. And it's like, I get on calls with people that are like super successful fucking people that are making like 85 to $100,000 a year, and they literally have zero life. Like their life is completely tied to that business. And I'm thinking like make way more money than them. And like, yes, my life is chaotic, but I get to make my own schedule. Like I can go do whenever I want. If I need to be sick, if I need to, be there for my
Yep.
kids, like I can. And and that's like why I love it here, is because there's no fucking ceiling. Like nobody's gonna put a limit on like, oh well, when you come in here, like we start you at $19 an hour, because I'm worth a lot more than that. Like, I'm sorry, but like
Absolutely.
$19 an hour, like fuck that. Okay. I pay my cleaning lady more than that. Okay. So, anyways,
Right.
I just can't with like this where people are like, well, that's secure, that's safe. No, it's not. Like you are
Fuck
literally
safe.
you're
Fuck
getting
safe.
fucking scammed every day of your life because you think, oh, I didn't have to pay to work here, or oh, like they have me on this set schedule, so I know I'm always going to get paid this set amount. Great. Yeah, I might have one day that I make nothing, and then one day I make $10,000. But I would much rather have like not a consistent, like I get paid my $200 every day. I would rather say fuck the $200 a day and go like literally make nothing for 30 days and then go make like a 10 or $20,000 day. Like, please and thank you.
Yep.
That's what I want. I really feel so sorry for people that, are so stuck in the grind because it's like that's where it's comfortable. And it's like, as long as you have the grit and the hustle and the determination, there's fucking kids on YouTube opening toys, making millions. So you mean to tell me
Yep.
that you can't start a social media account and start posting and just being raw, real, and sharing your opportunity, and you think that you can't make it out there? Like, get out of here. Like, get out of here.
Right? Like it's time for people to start like believing in them, like believe in yourself. Like why are you not believing in yourself? Right? It's like
Exactly.
we have kids who we pour our hearts and souls into and like we want them to go after everything that they want in life. But
Hmm.
why aren't we? Like why aren't you? So it's sad. It's like you got to be confident in yourself. Like if you don't bet on yourself, like nobody will. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to make your life better. Like you have to be the one to do it. You got to buck up and you got to do it. And,
Hmm.
people who are in a 9 to 5 job or in the corporate world and they feel safe, they feel secure because they have a salary. What if your job laid you off tomorrow? What if you walked into your job and your boss was like, hey, I got news from, the big guy upstairs that, we're cutting costs and I'm really sorry, but we're either cutting your job, cutting your pay, cutting your hours, and then you have no choice in the matter. You probably gave 5, 10 years. Sometimes people work for companies for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, like of your life to a company who could literally drop you like that. And your boss could say, I'm so sorry, but I'm not the one in control of this. This isn't my decision. It's not emotional, it's business. What are you going to do for your family? Do you have enough money in your savings account that you've been saving up to be able to support your family? And then what? What are you going to do? You're going to be stuck on the job market competing with other people who are in the exact same position, people who are probably younger than you, people who probably get paid less than you, right, to do the same
Hmm.
job. And they're going to hire those people instead of you because you're getting old. True. And you probably have more experience and you're more expensive to pay for. So in a company's mind, they're going to find somebody younger who they can do the same job for less. Like this is reality of what is going on in the world. So if you are in a 9 to 5, you need to have a secondary income. You need to have
Hmm.
another option. Build another skill. And you know what that skill needs to be? Sales. Because you can literally
Hmm.
do sales in any position anywhere in the freaking world and it's a transferable skill. You can make as much money as you want in sales. It doesn't have to be just in one business. You could do it in multiple. Like people got to wake up, man.
They
This is
do.
where we're
Like, why are
at.
you out building 40 years to build somebody else's business up when you could be building your own? Like, it just really doesn't make sense to me because it's like, oh, well, because I'm going to get that social security check or I'm going to get this or I'm going to. So you really think all that years of hard work, they're going to give you a couple $1,000s a month? Like, that's it? Like, after the 40 years or 30 years or even 20 years, even 10 years of your life dedicating to them? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. And like, I would just rather make my own way and build something that's mine and something that I can actually pass to my family. And even if they don't really want to run it, like they'll still just get paid from it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
okay, go do something else, but at least just keep this running so that you can make money off of it. It's an investment. And so I just feel like any business venture that you can start really is an investment because it's yours. But what I really love about what our business is that, you can lock into like lifetime money that, is just paid out to you because you're a badass and you push through and you did the things that most people don't want to do and you build your business up and then you get it to a place where you're kind of cush. You get to kind of just ride if you want.
Yeah,
Which is
baby.
which is I love because in an online space you don't see that whole lot. It's usually a lot of grinding and like yes, it's your business. Yes, you're building it. But company like those companies you don't always know about those either, but what I love about what we do too is because we get paid so much and that we're able to take this money and like so many people on our team like make so many other investments with this money. They'll work a full-time job, they'll do this too, and then they'll take this extra money that they're making and put it in other investments so that it's like not only is this business an investment but now they have all these other investments that are paying them. And so wealth is the future. Like if you
Smart
are not,
money.
yes, like if you're not building wealth, what are you really doing? Because you're just building yourself to stay broke. And I don't know about you, but that's fucking stupid. It just is. Like, why do you want to put yourself in a position where you're just broke, busted, and disgusted and stuck there when you have every ability to get
Mhm.
up off your ass and build something that is yours, that can make
Yep.
you infinite amounts of money, that literally can build you true wealth? Because I'm telling you, the world ain't getting any better. So you have to figure it out. And I feel like, and that also brings me to
Mhm.
like the way that we market, you know, because so many times people be like, why don't you guys talk about the product? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Well, because we don't need to. And if you don't stay up in the times and you don't change your marketing strategies, because I was actually just listening to the Challenger book, and it was saying like
Mm.
how, and that's like an older, like a little bit of an older book, but the Challenger sale, I think is what it's called. But anyways, he was just saying, so many people are so resistant to staying in the same marketing strategies that they've always used, and they don't want to move when the market moves, types of thing. And I love how sales has really evolved over the years, because I feel like, not that like, but like back when I was a kid, people will like have this like stigma around like salespeople as like they're just like always trying to sell you something. You know what I mean? Where it's like now it's like
Yep.
we're not just trying to sell things, like we're actually trying to change people's lives with these opportunities that people have. It's not just so much like, oh, buy my product. It's like, no, like invest into these franchises so that you can literally have a business that is going to pay you and your family out for life. Like it's so much more than just running around selling Kirby vacuums or like Avon or like whatever it was. You know what I mean? Back in the day, which the hustle was real, and I love all of it, and it's all built the foundation of like where sales has evolved to. But I don't know. I just, like you said, like sales is something that every single person should know how to do. You should be able to like communicate with people. You should be able to sell, because I mean, everything in life is sales. So even if you're working at McDonald's or CVS or, wherever, the car dealership, or anything, like it's all sales. Like even if you are like behind the scenes and you're working, like for instance, like I used to work at a Citibank, and I worked on like customer service, but it was all sales. I would have to try to get them to do balance transfers because it would make that business more money, right? So it was like everything is sales. Like there's really nothing that isn't.
Everything. Absolutely.
So if you
Every
can
single
get
thing in
good
this
at
world is sales.
yes. So it's like if you can get really fucking good at it and dominate it, you can be your own business owner, because that's what you do in a business is you're selling something, whether it's your time and like your service or your product. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like, would you rather be in a position where like you are in a Lamborghini, like riding, and maybe you're not the driver yet, but at least you're riding and you're in that car, getting closer to where you want to be? Or do you want to stay in your broken down Honda because that's safer and easier and you're driving it? And I look at that as like the opportunities in life,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like Lamborghinis or like a sales business and like this big money and a success story. It's like sometimes people feel like they're never going to achieve it and it feels like unobtainable. But what if you at
Mhm.
least allow yourself to get in a room with people who can help you achieve it? Open that door of the Lamborghini. Go sit your butt in there. Rub elbows with the person driving it. Ask questions. Soak up and learn. But like you have to take that first step to actually get in there. And I know that it's like scary and it doesn't feel like you can do it. And I really feel like that's like how people feel. It's like they want to just stay where they're safe, but it's like they don't realize that like even just taking the first step to start gets you so much closer to like where you want to be. Like if you don't even take that first step to like try, you're never going to change your life. Like, and it's not even about like just changing your life. It's just about like doing something to better yourself. Like maybe you
Mhm.
don't want to change your life and you don't have massive dreams, but you just want to like live comfortably. Like, but like look at your life. Are there things that you feel like you want to accomplish or go do, but like you're tied down and you can't do it because of money, because of a job, because of your confidence? Like all of these things you can get from sales. There's so much more to than just money with sales. Like you really learn to be a fucking badass. When you can close a
Oh
deal,
yeah.
you get confident. You learn that like you are capable of making it happen. You're capable of achieving a goal. When's the last time that you wrote down a goal and worked your ass off to achieve it? Like when's the last time? Because typical like adults nowadays, they don't go after goals. They don't assess, they don't reflect, they don't write down goals. So like being able to like achieve goals and like reflect back on your life about where you want to be, like that itself is a skill that, or you know, that you need to be doing. And at least in
Hmm.
entrepreneurship and what we do online, like we do that all the time. And I feel like that's a huge thing too, like personal development. Like there's so much in this that is just, it's literally like, it's freaking gold. It's gold. And
It
I
is.
will never stop talking about it. I won't.
I won't either, no matter how crazy it is, and I just to kind of like recap it back to like how we kind of started this, no matter how crazy our life seems, no matter how much time we feel like we don't, like time's always running out. But I was actually listening. I've been like in my books lately, and I was listening to, I don't really like read it because I will fall asleep reading a book, and I honestly don't have much time to sit around and read a book. So like while I'm like getting ready or I'm in the shower or I'm doing this or that, I'm like constantly listening to books and personal development and stuff. And anyways, it's the manifestation one. I forget exactly what it's called. Something the manifestation. I'm seeing like I don't even know. I'm like hit play. Let me listen to this. But anyways, it was just talking about how like time is really an illusion, and time really doesn't exist. Like we've just made it a time, right? Like we have a clock. So like we can be on time and we can be on schedule and like we can do things in life. And like that's why we have that. But really all you have is right now. And that just really, really resonated with me and hit with me because it was like, you know what? It's so right because we'll always be like, put it off to tomorrow or, oh, I'll figure it out this weekend or, this or that, which is great. But, I just feel like I love what we're able to do because we are really able to live in the now. Because, yes, there are going to be things that we'll have to be like, okay, I have to do that tomorrow because I've got other things I have to do. But it just really brought into perspective to me, like, the only time you have is really right now. Like, yeah, there's the future, but we don't really know like what that's going to be like, right? And we don't ever want to live in the past because that is just the past. It's done, it's gone. So I really have is just right now. And just to kind of go in with what you're saying and like writing down these goals, don't automatically shoot yourself to the future and be like, "Oh, but I don't know if I'm going to can achieve those. I don't know if I can do that." Like it doesn't matter. Write them down and go after them. Like they're like time doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if you don't hit it next week or next month or even next year. Just start fighting towards it and you will get there.
Yep.
And you know
Yep.
what I mean? And so anyways, I don't know why I even like said that. It just like made me think of like, because we do feel like rushed, but at the same time we really need to like sit back and just be so grateful that we are, but like being able to just sit back and just be so grateful that even though our lives are chaotic and crazy or whatever, that we really do have all of the time. Like if you live in your mind of like I have all the time, like I've really been trying to speak that over myself because I am always like the girl running late, okay? On like life's time, okay? That's why I live in my own world where time doesn't exist, so I'm always late. But I just you feel me. You feel me. We live in our own little
I
world.
do.
Like I don't know. Just time just doesn't exist. And so, I'm just so blessed that we're able to just kind of do that, and really not feel so rushed because I was like always late to fucking work. Like when I had a real job, I was like always late. I
Literally
don't know.
same.
I was like, everyone would always say, like, you will be late to your own funeral. And I'm like, I probably will. I probably will. They'll
Yeah.
probably lose me somewhere. I don't know. Probably be
That's
off
too
headed
freaking
to
funny.
Marshalls. But anyways, yeah,
Literally
no, I
though,
feel like this is
oh my God. Same. I was just gonna say same. Like, so I used to pull up like to my work and I'd be like, I had to get there by like 8 and it'd be like 7, like 53, and I'm like, oh, I got time for a coffee. Like I'm like, oh, let me just stop
yes.
for a coffee quick. And I'd be like, because here's the thing, I will show up as a better worker if I have my coffee. Okay, even if I'm 10 minutes late, do you want me crabby and like not ready, or do you want me to have my coffee and like get going? And like,
Hmm.
that's my mindset, which obviously doesn't work for a 9 to 5. But, that's why, I live my life the way I do and we make money the way we do. But Yeah.
And that's why, like, this morning we're like, okay, we're getting on at 11. I'm like, okay, let's do 11:30. And then at 11:30, we're both like, oh, we need a little bit more time. And we're like, okay, well, we'll just check each other when we're ready. And then she's like, okay, I'm ready. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And I send the link in, and I'm like, okay, I don't know if she's coming. Then she's like, okay, I'm here. I'm like, okay. See, this is like why we work so well together, because we live in our own world. And when you start to actually live in your own world and just live by your own rules, and do the things that feel good for you, and you don't have to put these like restrictions on yourself. That's why they call this freedom. It's because it truly really is. Like,
Yes.
yes, I feel like we traded the
Yes.
9 to 5 for the 24/7. But the 24/7 lifestyle is where the freedom exists. Like, you're kind of like always
Mhm.
on. Like, I always say, like, my brain's always on. I'm always thinking of the next thing. And I know you're the same way. Like, we're always are just like
Same.
spitballing ideas, and we're constantly having to help our team, and be moms and be wives and do all these things. And it's like this 24-hour like literal job that we do, if you want to call it a job. But that is where the real freedom exists. It doesn't exist in the 9 to 5. It exists in the 24/7. And it's
Yes.
such, and I feel like we get taught that it's like you go to school, you get a job, and you conform, you do that, and it's like, no. Like, I want to be able to make my, like, I don't care how fucking crazy my life is, and I'm like half the time living on a shoestring. Like, it is the most beautiful thing in the world that be able to just do whatever I want whenever I want on my time, and still be able to create an
Mm.
income, create more income than I could ever do out in the field. More than, even if I would have like went out and been a nurse, because that's what I wanted to do. I make a hell of a lot more than that. And I've been able to completely like 5x my husband's annual salary, and now he doesn't have to stress to work because he's got a heart condition. So it's just, this is where the real freedom exists. It's just, you got to understand that freedom isn't free. And even
Mhm.
though that we call it freedom, everything comes at a price, and so does freedom. And so if you want to live a freedom life, like, you're going to have to trade the 9 to 5 for the 24/7.
Amen, sister. Amen. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
a 24/7er like us, you found the right spot. Are you our people?
Yes.
Because we're crazy, we're delusional, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
No, and we're trying to find our people. So if you have, if this episode has resonated with you, make sure that you give us a follow, and that you subscribe to our channel, and you follow us on our social medias, because we just want to inspire other people to get into entrepreneurship and change your life.